Another day, another Evolve video, eh? We're going to do an evac campaign, boys, so we're going to be starting on Fusion Plant. That's very fitting, considering this was the first map ever revealed. Yeah, YouTube seems to like this, algorithm-wise. The viewers seem to like this, because, you know, evac campaigns tend to get a bit more views. People ask for them from time to time as well, so we're going to do one. Don't know what this is. It is basically the campaign mode for this game. It's going to be spread over 5 days. We're currently on day 1, as you can see. Day 1 is always hunt. As we go through it, there'll be different game modes. I'll explain them as we get to them, though. We do this by selecting one monster for each day. We spend monsters. So, for this one, I don't think we've started as Wraith for quite a while in evacs, so we'll do an early Wraith in this one. We're against Roigval, Bucket, Wasteland Maggie, and Torvald. It is Fusion Plant, so we will do the Bog Wraith. We'll get it selected, and we will do everything except abduct in the abilities, all that'll become irrelevant in a minute. Stamina increases, because that is almost required for Wraith. She has very bad base traversal regen, so buffing it with the perks always good. And yeah, we're going to see how this goes. This team is quite high DPS, but we are quite fast and zippy in a fight, which is a bit weird to say. Hang on, I always forget about cutscenes. There is a lot to explain at the beginning there that we'll go through as we go, but obviously, just to get this out of the way, there's a cutscene at the beginning based on who wins. They get a flavourful cutscene at the end of the round as well to show what the impact or consequence, or whatever you want to refer to it as, of the round is, which we'll go into when that happens. What I was going to say about Wraith is she has a very good combat-based traversal, but not a good world-based traversal, because a traversal is literally that, which is actually one of the smallest traversals by distance of all the monsters. So getting around places or getting out in terms of escaping is something she does suffer with. What we do at the beginning, if it is your first video though, is we go around the map killing and eating wildlife. To fill this little ring meter up that keeps popping up. Once that fills, we will be able to evolve to the next stage. I'm going to decoy that. Please swipe all of them. Please do something. Thank you. Yeah, we're just going to get all these out. Be mindful of where the hunters will be, because they're probably not too far behind at this point in time. It's going to be carrying. Yep, there they are. I'm going to move on. Carrion birds will occasionally spawn when you're eating, because it tells the hunters where you are at the balance. It's going to be stage 2 ready there. We don't want to fight at stage 1, which is why we're staying clear, because we're very weak. As you can tell by the small HP bar. Damage matches that as well. We don't hit very hard at the moment. Monsters are incentivised. Ah, shit, I really would like ability cooldowns. Monsters are incentivised to run at stage 1. Grab it here. Should have enough distance. When we evolve, we can spend 3 points. The monster appearance changes as well, which you'll see in a moment. We'll do everything except decoy. Decoy kind of does what it needs to. So as you can tell, we've got a bit bigger. Antennae on our rear, the rear of our head. That mammoth's in the way. Fuck. It's fine. Would like to go for the medic here. Just use the insta heal ability. Something that is worth mentioning, that if you do stick around on the channel, may make multiple appearances in this video as well, is I just want to bring your attention when I say, well, based on what you're witnessing here, this game's 10 years old, by the way. Something I always mention when I say this game could have been released today, in terms of what it looks like and how it plays. There is insane, and I mean insane, amounts of attention to detail in this game that was universally slept on. You get animations for whenever you down hunters. They're all exclusive to whichever monster you're playing, obviously. The atmosphere of the game is insane as well. Not clued in on the lore behind the game. It is essentially end times. Because the humans have experimented with the wrong type of technology, and it's opened a rift to a dimension that these monsters lived in, and basically unleashed a race of rapidly mutating alien hypermutants into the world. And the best part about this, ladies and gentlemen, is the lore of this game took itself quite seriously and realistically, because humanity doesn't survive this shit. It was canonically going downhill, and it does by the whole story. Because there isn't just me, there is armies of these things. We need to grab Daisy there. We'll commit to the down on Daisy though. There we go. Shit. Me sliding. Got a quick revive on Daisy though. Under the effects of Bucket's cloak there, which is why I couldn't see him. Do sneak that. So we have lost armour now, so the damage we're taking is actually real. Can't heal damage back. Or HP back, I should say. The only way you do is by evolving, because you gain a percentage of your HP back, or finding the Tyrant buff, which can exist on this map. When it's in multiple locations. The animations as well. The antenna is on the back of her head. Flicking. There's two variants of that as well. I'll show you the other one in a minute. You can see it with Abduct. So they relax. And then they're back up again because she's more alert. There was one, I can't remember which one it was, I'm sure it was what last time. I'll pick this up while I'm here actually. Just aim it the wrong way, that's hilarious. I really want this buff, mate. Can I have a traversal please? Thank you. Ability cooldowns as Wraith is good in the same way it's good for a goalie. We'll go and grab stage 3. Yeah, there was an animation where you flicked a little bit more. Yeah, you see how they perk up at the beginning, because it's it's a visual indicator of it channeling how far it's going to go. Grab it here. We'll go to stage 3. Stage 3 is the final evolution of the Monster War Max Supernova. We are now a serious fucking issue for the hunters. Lots of HP and lots of damage, because the hunters are supposed to stop you from getting to this level. So when you do, as the monster, the game rewards you for it. Something we don't see in the asym genre these days. That's another topic though. You've got inside on there. I was going to try and go for a steal with a Abduct. Okay, we've got Daisy all the way out here. Excellent liars. I'm still hearing new lines, dude. I've been playing this game for 10 years as well. I still hear new voice lines. Shit, I didn't even see that thing. But yeah, you're going to see a very high amount of damage here now. Yep. He's got his shield up, so I don't really want to be here, but he is on his own without support at the moment. Jump back into that with that. Yeah. Just avoid some damage while we whittle her down. There we go. I'm assuming he's there. Yeah, he is. Good. Losing HP now though. That's actually, this is a bot, by the way, as well. I'm actually, yeah, I'm gonna have to get out here now. Wonderful example, actually, because this game is actually balanced as well as an ASIM, because I fucked that up and I'm nearly dead. And this is my power spike as well. Stage 3. The flip side, though, is we did get strikes there, which means their HP is lowered by a decent percentage, so they take a negative out of that as well. We're allowed to go and get some armour. Get ourselves up here. So now everybody's going to have these little white blocks on their names, like this. Reduces the max HP. The ones that have 2 don't get incaps, they'll just die. So, go for medic first. Do go for bucket here because he's going to try and run off cloak, which is what you should do as a support. I just don't know what happened to Daisy. Weird. So there's your little cutscene at the end as well. So this is going to be toxic fumes now, because we've destroyed the power plant. I'm internally trying to figure out how to mask the sound of my dog's barking. You probably can't even hear that. That's just what that quiet little moment was there. We actually skipped on 2 of them there. It's hilarious. So the next round, round 2, is going to be either nest or rescue. This is always the case on day 2. We do get to pick which one we want to be on though. So we're going to be probably going for, we'll do nest for the first one. Needs to be on a good map. Right, change plan, we're going to do that one because this one's got one of the best cutscenes on it. So we'll do this one instead, we'll do rescue instead. Just to show this cutscene to you. When we win the round anyway. Hoping that we do actually win the round. My dog might be joining the commentary here. Just you know, it is what it is. It is rescue. I was going to do Gorgon, but I was going to leave, you know, the nest one for, you know, flavourful. So we'll do Kraken for this one. It is the Foundry, so we will do. Right, fellas, you might experience a little bit of a skip there. 2 hours has passed in that, like, nanosecond between now and the last time I spoke. It's not a nanosecond, but, you know, might skip topics, don't know. I had to go and play with my dogs, keep them occupied, and then somebody turned up to fix the shower, and somebody turned up to measure the fucking windows. So, all that's aside now, we're going to carry on. This team is Emmett, Carl, Jack, and Parnell. We were on Foundry, weren't we, because we were going to show off the cutscene, so we will do Magma Kraken. We'll get this logged in. We'll do everything except Banshee Mines, and Traversals will also be the perk of choice. I do remember we did play Wraith in the first round, about 2 minutes ago for you. It's 2 hours for me, so we'll see. Cannot remember what I was talking about, but it probably will pop up again if it was something to do with this game being the greatest ASIM that ever existed and how the ASIM genre fell off, but we'll probably get to that at some point. For the time being,
One of those monsters attacked us. It took out most of our security.
really see rescue on this map. It's usually nest or hunt. Quite a unique first intro cutscene. So we are playing as the biggest monster in the game. This is Kraken. Obviously not stage 1, but I got a refund on that because the tree stole it. Good. So the way nest and rescue work, they work more or less the same as each other. They're just the reverse of each other. We're going to rush stage 2 as quickly as possible here, even quicker than we would be doing in Hunt, because we're basically racing the hunters in this one, in both versions. This one, hunters have to evacuate the survivors, which is what it's saying at the top there. We need to kill 5, it would say rescue 5 on their screen. Whoever does the objective, or their objective first, obviously wins. But we're not going to be able to really compete too much at stage 1, which is why usually what happens is the hunters get the first 2, or it's okay to let them do that. Just where you grab your revolve. Couple of teleport shenanigans going on here by the sounds of it. They are starting to res them. We do need to get a bit of a move on here. There are some crates over here. It's both of them resed. Let's get that open. We need 1 bar, so we're going to be very conservative here. We're going to do that, and then we're going to go straight for it because we know they're all the way over there. So we're not going to get interrupted. We probably are going to get the first 2 through. We'll grab Banshee, Aftershock, and Lightning Strike. Vortex kind of does what it needs to at tier 1, it's just a pushback style ability. So me trying to break into it again. We probably are going to get the first 2 here, we're just going to get the armour and then we'll get back in there. Quite nice to push towards stage 3 as well, because I do try and show that off in every round. As you can see, we're getting pretty big already as Kraken. On the way over. It is looking as though they are going to get them, so I'm probably just going to let them do it, to be honest. As I say, letting them get the first 2 is not really a bad thing. With it being against bots, we're actually going to contest it after all that. Our life got in the way there. Quite dragged that enough. Did actually get through there. Let's stop that. I do stop that right on the point. Can't move at the moment because we're being repulsed by Jack. Did actually get that one. That's fun. Try and play for some strikes here. Revive is probably going to come in on the survivor, so we'll go for some strikes here. Nope, they're actually dead. Okay. Do a bit of fighting. Need me third it. There it is, just to bounce them over there so we can line up a good lightning. There it is. Got some sneaky ammo over there, can't. Shit. Need to be careful about what's going on in the background because we have got somebody who has snuck off, which are going to be trying to go for the revive on the other colonists. How the fuck are you not down yet? There it is. Get moving now. I actually dropped really low there, that's ridiculous. Just completely forgot about my HP there for a second. What we're going to do now is just go immediately to stage 3 because we have dropped pretty low here and we are on a team with Carla on it, I should say. There's a lot of mammoths. Jesus. That's going to give us the first bar and the evolve. So to get these 2 it doesn't really matter. We'll just go for the stage 3. Become the biggest boy in the game. You're about to see. Looks absolutely insane for a 10-year-old game. Use these mammoths to get the armor back up. We haven't actually revived any of them yet, which is a bit surprising. Oh, there you go. There's a sandstorm, so visibility is quite low at the moment. It's 1-all. Let's go with that idea. We've not gone the way the survivors are at the moment, so these are going to go down pretty damn quickly here. We are stage 3 now as well, so we're going to be very strong. So it's going to be quite hard for them to prevent the downs, but we can revive them very quickly as well. Which is why we're going for the medic. Shit, taking real damage there. Shit, they revived him. It's going to be them getting 2 through, I think. I'm going to throw him off the edge. Like, that's me completely ignoring. Right, okay. So they've got 3 now, we've only got 1. It's ridiculous. Very mindful of the. Can't really go in there. The HP's getting a bit serious. You have a bit of a lead here, though. Might be able to get these free. Yeah, I'm coming in. Should get this one for free. Just in time. Very cramped place to fight. Don't want to be anywhere near that. Jack sneaking around. You knock him out there. Now we'll go for it. Where the fuck was the other one? I'm legit losing HP here. Shit. Get out of there. We're in a bad place to fight for Kraken because obviously it's indoors. We've constantly got a roof over my head. Got a fucking detail on this monster, dude. 10-year-old game for the boys at the back of the room. That's gonna do it though. You actually get the underspike there. That's gonna be it though. That's not gonna be it because I've miscounted. Get over there. I don't know where the extraction thing is. It's not highlighted. It's because the other one's still down. This man's run off though, so that is gonna be it. We're gonna get some poison cloud value. That is gonna be it. We're a bit dicey on the HP. There it is. We get a really cool cutscene. Actually, vanishes there is really cool, dude. That's what I said at the beginning of the first round. I do remember saying that. There's not just one of us. It's armies of them. You see the main 3 there, but there's literally armies of them that you'll see at the end as well, in the final cutscene. Just what I said, like, I think it was at the beginning, or was it a previous round the other day? I mentioned it. I'm sure it was the first one. As I say, it's been 2 hours, but yeah, humanity doesn't survive this shit because it's a logical, you know, the logical realism to it. I don't know what the word is, but you know, they wouldn't survive this. So this game takes it seriously. The power of friendship, sparkles, and unicorns doesn't save the day, unfortunately, as it does in a lot of lore these days for games like this. It's me having a drink. Mention the auto balance system. Because the hunters are losing, they are consistently being buffed up with HP and damage. We're going on Broken Hill Man regardless, we'll do Nest. We're also going to get extra damage from melee attacks as well, which is what it says there. Completely forgot what I was going to say, I'm not going to lie. Don't have a script, this is live by the way, recorded live, so you know, if it was a relevant topic it will return, probably. Who have we done? We've done Wraith and Kraken so far. We're on the caves. No. We said we were going to do Gorgon, weren't we, for a Nest, remember that. We'll do just default, to be honest. That's Roval, Cabot, Jack, and Blitz Markov. Cabot's existence when you're playing as Gorgon is absolutely fucking terrifying. So, yeah, going into this, Gorgon is the weakest monster in the game, bar a large margin. Only because her HP and her damage are basically just in need of buffs at flat rate. You'll see that as we go into this though. It's weird because in stage 2 she was actually quite good. They buffed her in that, but yeah. This is the map those little shield drones come from, which you might have seen in the single round videos, where they've got little defensive bots flying around. That's what this is, or the map you get this from. We do get purple hand Gorgon as well, actually, because we've got the Boreum effect from the previous round. We've got flares on our wrists, so it's quite cool. It looks very good on Wraith, this effect. This still looks quite cool on Gorgon, but on Wraith it's on her blades. It looks really good. Very fast attack of this. Yeah, this one. So to say, because it's Nest, this is basically the reverse of Rescue. We are defending in this one instead of attacking. But as I said, the early game is the same thing. We're just rushing stage 2. It's especially relevant on Gorgon because stage 1 Gorgon can't fight any team. So regardless of auto balance or mode, it's just not feasible at all. It gives me a single, that's not what I wanted to see. We've got a bit over it though. We need to worry things along because they do get, as I say, damage buffs, so they're going to be doing a lot of damage to the eggs, which they are on one of them somewhere. Let's go straight for it. I'm sure it just said egg damaged. It's fine. We'll grab Mimic, but it's not the most useful abilities, but better to have it. You're going to zap me as soon as I come out of this. Yep. Sure it said egg damaged. I'm not where they are. It's a bit uncommon. Yeah, egg damage, okay. Right, we're over there. Okay, so we're going to lose that one. It's fine. Get ourselves fully armoured. Push ourselves towards stage 2 as well. We're over here. If we are going to interrupt this, this is a really slow egg. If they've split up, no they haven't, I don't think. Nope, they're just... Got a spider in there. Attacked from the wrong side here because I don't want to be on the side with assault. We need to go for Jack because we are downed. And also Yellow Leaderman. back into that. Very strong position here. Throw a spider behind, try and get one on it. Good, we just get that. We need to get out though, because we're losing armor. HP. I want me fucking down before he gets heal bursted. I'm gonna have to leave that. He might not get. If he got heal bursted. No, he didn't. Good. We do actually get a strike. Get ourselves a win. One thing that is worth mentioning is you can hatch eggs. It'll give you a little baby Goliath, which we will do when we get to stage 3. Just going to get some more armor, and then we'll go in for one more, and then we'll go to stage 3. After that, if the game could give me some wildlife, that would be very nice. Good. Some, yeah. Still haven't lost an egg yet. Looks like they've gone back to the one they were working on. Good, so that's fine. Nope, you just give up again. I don't know what they're doing. Careful, not mine. Yeah, they did do one back. We just caught up with them again. Using the Mickey. I'm gonna get hit by that beam, I think. Yeah. We're in a bit of trouble here, which is a bit weird because the bots in this game are actually really good, but this egg is confusing them for some reason. Cabot's trying to damage jump it, but nobody's firing on it. We do need to be careful, obviously, for what you're seeing right here, because we're still. Hang on. No, that's Gorgon. So now we hide. Don't think I can get through there. Do not turn around, for fuck's sake. I said the bots were good a minute ago. They actually are. This is a very rare instance, boys. You just keep doing that. As long as Markov doesn't turn around, good. That's a stage 3 moment. Yeah, they're gonna get that egg. It's fine. Probably gonna head right over there now anyway, so we'll just go for this immediately. Just get it. We're going for the next egg, it's fine. Max me acid spits. Very long leg monster this, once we get to stage 3. Hind legs get longer. She starts knuckle walking as well because the animations change. Sounds like they've gone that way, is it? We'll take an armor regen here. I'm just going to say it sounds like they're going to be. Yeah, they're doing eggs really quick now. I suppose we're not going to hatch an egg in this one because we're just here now. We need to not dick around too much because we are just. Well, we nearly died right there anyway. We lost 2 eggs now. Spider over there. Stack all the DOT on him, just hit him in the corner. Oh, Gorgon, why are you so shit? Fucking hell. This is with the fucking damage from the previous round as well. We're gonna have to get out of there because we've still got damage jump as well. Just gonna use that there, it's fine. Just aimed it. That's fine, we get a nice split on that. problem here is I can't really target the medic because I need to focus either Jack or Cabot out, because if we don't, we're going to get domed and then we're going to get melted. Good, we get Cabot down again. Use them for armor. You actually do that, we get quite a bit of an isolate there. We don't have the damage amp, so we can go for value. Maybe get him in that spider. Good. So we're not going to be able to, we're going to have trouble outpacing the seal here, because... Good. Probably end it here, I think. Just good shield. I'm going to save him though. Did buy his team another wave though, which is a bit scary. Get these striders. Don't know who's left, to be honest, or who's coming back. I think it's support and trapper. Potentially do that, maybe. Shit. Now, one of the pain points of this mode, you may have seen in the top left of the corner, we've got 45 seconds and it says monster wins in. I don't think this should exist, to be honest, because it basically just means, yeah, when that ends here, despite us literally still playing the game, it just ends and I'll win. Because they didn't, you know, destroy all the eggs in time. You know, it's quota-based stuff, isn't it? You're supposed to do your job as an hunter, but... yeah. So I'd say I'm not going to be able to find Jack now in 20 seconds, so that's going to be that. Just don't know where he is. He's over here somewhere because of the beam. 10 seconds. Yeah, don't know. There it is. How about that then? Couple of hiccups from the bots in that one. Like I say, I assure you it is actually rare, because the bots in this game, they fucking, like, sometimes, mate, we spend like single round games where it goes like 20 minutes and we're nearly dead, you know, because they're actually fighting it. There's just little instances like that. They got confused over where that egg was for some reason, and then obviously I was able to cheese like hiding a certain pixel that they needed to see or something behind that pillar. But yeah, we would have died there though if they didn't get confused as well. As I say, Gorgon's just... it's a numbers issue. Her kit's actually fine, her abilities, like being able to remove somebody from the battlefield with spiders and mimicking to engage and baiting domes and all that. Well, only with bots you can bait domes, but all that kind of stuff, like it is good. It's just we're going to be on raid trap for a hunt. Yeah, it's just... the numbers don't do much. So we are going to be Goliath because it is day 4. Day 4 is the hardest day because we've got fully stacked hunters now in the auto balance. So we need to be on main to keep up, you know, compete. We will do regular Goldie. I was going to do Meteor Goliath, but we'll do Goldie for this one. We're going to Slim, Tekant, Griff and Lennox. We've been blessed a little bit here with... do Voodoo. A bit of a weaker team comp. Griff is pretty bad universally as a trapper. Tekant is bad because the bot doesn't understand how to play him. He plays him as though he's a regular Hank. The idea of Tekant is you shield your teammates outside of fights, so everybody walks into fights fully shielded. You can basically have all hunters properly shielded. Wait a minute. Again, because it is the lore map though as well, you know, we always give a bit of sweet giggle because this is where it all went wrong. It was going to save thousands of lives, potentially, but it actually ended the human race. Because that particular wraith that is in that tank right there is the reason everybody dies in the end, because she essentially becomes a mutation called the Phantom Wraith that, based on what you saw in the first round, with this whole teleporting around and zippiness and warpiness of her, she was able to do that between fucking planets when she mutated under the stress of being inside that vat tank, and she became the Phantom Wraith. And because this race of alien super mutants learns from its from each other, because it's a hive mind type ordeal, that basically meant that this Goliath, for an example, would be able to turn itself into a Phantom Wraith if it wanted to, because that's what these monsters were capable of. I say that, but it was never actually really confirmed strictly if monsters like, say, this Goliath could just decide it wanted to be a Wraith. But the way they sort of evolved into Kraken, for example, being a direct evolutionary response to Markov's lightning gun, Markov being the tier 1 hunter and Kraken being a tier 2 monster, you know, the way it was done. It's not, you know, it was never really concretely confirmed if that was the case, or if it was, this monster is born as this, so it is this, you know, or if it could actually choose at will to adapt itself in a really extreme way rather than just evolving itself, you know, if it could turn itself into something else, you know, that kind of thing. Well, yeah, Kraken is a response to a lot of Goliaths taking a lot of lightning hits, so they basically use lightning themselves then. That's what that was. And also a response to the mines, so it could fly to avoid them. That's canon, by the way, I didn't make that up. It is actually canon. Got earthquakes coming in, we are going to get some poison hits. We did get a very quick stage 1 up to 2 in this one. Did not see you there. Good. Let's get that poison. It's going to give us a bit of an edge because these are going to be very strong hunters. We are just going to get the armour filled up. Just thank God that we got a bit lucky and it's not another Cabot team at day 4, because that is a nightmare. We'll go say hello, they shouldn't be too far behind, wherever they are. Okay. I don't want smell range. I mean, I suppose we'll just keep feeding, but I don't know where they are at the moment. Sure, just heard a nomad die over there. Maybe they're getting buffs, actually. Yeah, they are. They're over there. Okay. No, they've not actually got buffs, though. They just wanted to go over there to say fuck you to that nomad, I suppose. Hey, where do you get that? As you can tell, oh shit. As you can probably see, they are taking very little damage. Goldie is actually the highest DPS monster in the game as well, at least in Legacy. So this is as strong as it gets as well. I'm going to spend my entire HP bar, my entire armor bar and a bit of HP there to down the trapper. Put things into perspective. Get some more armor here. We are going to get full armor again because we're going to need it. As I say, they do a lot of damage on day 4. We just need these. Oh, that's going to be the best one. Ability cooldowns is the best buff for Goldie. We'll replace poison hits for that. So we're not going to immediately go for the evolve here, we're going to go in again. Try and play for some strikes. You get that? Rare Griffin value moment. So we're going to get him to 2 again because I've just nearly dropped on my armour just so we don't get domed. Maybe get him because he is isolated. Kind of. Shit, didn't quite do that. That's what I was worried about, just down him. Make it worth my while. Animation quality, by the way. Won't see that in the asym genre now. Not with the current top of the genre. Calm down. Whey! See that? That's the bots for you. Using it to jump in the way. We're now in serious shit though, it needs to be said. Because I need to get this man down. Or dead, because he's 2 struck. There it is. Go. That's a straight to stage 3 moment right there. Poke me. Good. Poke me. Hate to do this to my boy, but you know, we like to show it. Injured animations, there you go. When I said at the beginning about attention to detail, 10-year-old game this. The characteristics, because he's quite dog-like and tiger-like, how he's holding his paw up at the front. An injured animation, the tail's droopier as well. This is what we lost, boys. It's good for the YouTube clout though, wasn't it? A couple of subscribers. Guys, they're turning guns blue. Vote with your wallets as I make my career out of gambling in loot boxes and buying more shit DLC. Fucking amoeba brains, mate. Swear. I'm not somebody who's, you know, I'm not like somebody who says, you know, like I don't defend bullshit practices apart from this particular instance. Because I know a lot of the DLC stuff these days is utter fucking bullshit. But the backlash that this game got, it was early to the bar with it. Because obviously the, Behemoth was the biggest, you know, controversy with this, because he was 15 quid I think he was, as a single character. But I've always died on the ill boys, he was fucking worth it, to be honest. The detail that went into him and the actual gameplay, he was like a whole other game as a character. You legit got so much attention to detail, so much good gameplay out of it, mate. I even now, as the game is dead, mate, I don't regret buying him, because I pre-ordered this game, and it's got zero fucking regrets whatsoever, because of how good this game is. Like I'm sat here 10 years later playing it against bots, you know, and I'm not bored. Meanwhile, the top of the genre, I play it for about 2 hours a day and it pisses me off because it's very low quality and it's not balanced in the slightest, you know. This is actually balanced. We're doing a lot of damage, they're doing a lot of damage, you know. We've got a lot of presence in a fight, they've got a lot of presence in a fight. This man is out sustaining me at stage 3, so I'm going to leave. Because I have the power to do so, you know. Top of the asym genre now. Ooh, no. No, you've got to stay there. Somebody needs some Twitch subscribers. Face those iframes. Smile through it. Be complicit with having your game robbed from you. You know, your win robbed from you. Because Timmy wants his subscribers and his golden kappa hype trains, you know. It's fine. The demons slipped out a little bit there. We're just going to top the armour back up because they have got full revival. So we're up shit creek here, to be honest, because we don't have a lot of HP. We need to go play for strikes here, I think. Might be able to curve that slightly. Yeah, that's not good. Get him out though. He's on his own again. Just so we don't get domed, that's going to be a very quick trapper kill. Stupidest place to throw a rock, that's fine. She tried to tank it for some reason. Do go for Tekank here because he's going to cloak and run off, or try to. Quite like that. Can't really throw a rock in here. Good, there it is. I can very quickly snag myself some armor here. 30 seconds. Yeah, we're going to be facing another wave here, just get it, it's fine. 4 bars. Right. Maybe eat into that timer a little bit here. I mean, look at the fucking... This is what the power roll used to be, boys, you know. The absolute agility of this character. You know, this monster. You're fucking glued to the floor and doomed to run around in circles in the top of the genre at the moment. Slim is really giving me trouble here because it's a day 4 Slim. Sustain is insane. Should get him there. Seriously? Wow! There we go. Yep. Cough. I need you to go down there, please. Good, 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 good. Don't fucking move. Don't move. Eat it. It's going to keep us in it. Good. Injured animations again at stage 3. Two quickets on. I did not expect them all to be here. That's a bit scary. There it is. Get out. Might be looking at a death here. Oh. Do you know why we might be looking at a death here? Because I've heard some people say this as well on some. It's very rare, but it happens. The monster looks too strong, boys. The monster, it's too strong. See, I'm nearly dead at stage 3 because this ASIM's balanced. Just get in there. There's we need to get somebody else thingied. Slim's the issue at the moment. Just need to keep an eye on the timer here. If we don't get anybody down, we dip out when he comes back, so we don't get redowned. Keep her down there. That's good. This ain't gonna mean anything. Use him for armor again. Might be able to stay here actually. Need to get in there on Slim immediately. He's down. Get out. Want to do a reset. We have 2 striked Slim now, so whenever he gets, whenever we get him down now, he dies outright. This round's also turned into one of those that I just mentioned in the Gorgon one previously. I wasn't bullshitting you. It's one of them where we're actually sweating here now. Way! Got a bit of the traversal bug there. Surprisingly unbuggy this game, but you know, sometimes they happen. Come on. Just get him down. Good. Tekank is the target here because he will cloak and run off. Nice little visual effect on the fire as well when it touches terrain. Oh, it's got an inky blackness to it because it's not natural fire. That does actually go off, and then we go for you. "25 seconds. Might be a... Yeah, it is. It's a pound situation. There it is. Should be enough. 15 seconds. Just so she doesn't shield. Bit of cheese, but you know, it is what it is. Very close round. It's going to bring us to day 5. Day 5 is the same in any campaign. It is a tower defense mode, basically, where we're playing as obviously the attacker and the hunters are trying to defend generators and the main ship. It's going to be Behemoth. It's going to be the star of the show at the end. The monster I've just referenced as well with the old microtransaction bollocks that happened with this game. So you'll see what I'm talking about in a second when we bring us in. What you need to remember, like what I've just said there with the whole argument of spiteful as a sound and all that kind of stuff, this was 10 years ago, right? In the same vein, when I say that, it's 10 years ago, right? This was 2015, but the game also looks like this. You know, it looks like it could have come out today, right? I'm saying that, but at the same time, I'm also saying this game is 10 years old, right? So they were charging these prices back in the day. Like 10 years ago, this was like release, obviously it was at its release, this was modern, the modern sort of game and all that kind of stuff. Behemoth, what you're about to see here, looks like something that could have been released today, right? That was 10 fucking years ago, right? So I was perfectly happy paying 15 quid for this monster, mate, and I still am to this day. We'll do sandstone because it is a deserty map, we'll match the environment, and we will max rock wall because I always like to show that off as an ability as well. And move speed will be the perk. This is Laz, Cabot, Wasteland, Maggie and Torvald. Laz Cabot is a team comp I always discount, but he's actually incredibly strong. So we're going to have a lot of targets coming in on us. We're actually going to melt very quickly here because this is day 5 hunters as well. So, but yeah, here's Behemoth as you'll see in a moment after the first cutscene. Now at the beginning here, just to get my point across, I'm going to do a bit of passion detail posting. Some people do like that if you've been around the videos for a while. I'm going to show you the details of this monster, as you'll soon see once we get into it. He's actually not the biggest monster in the game. He is the widest monster in the game because he is a knuckle walker, very reminiscent of the tank from Left 4 Dead. Look at the absolute fucking detail of this. Right, I'll just zoom out. Right, the panels on his back, they move simulated to similar to Wraith, and you can see inside he does a little tail wiggle as well, which is disturbingly cute. There he is again, doing his little tail waggle. The stone plates that you see in here all over his body, I'm probably going to lose the last round for this, they're not actually him. Well, they technically are him, but he is that fleshy substance that is in the middle. Now in the Gorgon round, because Gorgon is the next evolution after this, that's where her web sling comes from. The stretchiness and the tendons of it. See how it's like gooey inside? You can also kind of see it when he's crouching. It's not as thingy though. All these panels move individually. Even the piece on his arm. Hang on, let me get it in the sun. See that little piece that's moving? Like clinking when he's moving around. Like it comes out of place, you see it? There's all little details all over the monsters like that in this game, dude. That's his sneak animation. You can see how his front claws as well. Are very adept at, like, you know, tunnel-based, well, like a mole kind of thing, like the structure of them, the two pronged claws. See, that's probably a better idea. Sideways. But yeah, all the attention to detail, and his traversal. A literal boulder that you roll around as, boys. How fucking good is that? You know, seriously. I've never actually been over here. Oh wow, I can't go over there. Oh, I can go over here. Hang on. Personal exploration. Never seen this side of the map before. We're actually halfway through that generator. I've got 4 minutes. I need to get over there just so we don't actually lose. But yeah, as I've described the game in the past, like, I always describe this game as PvP Monster Hunter, with the level of monster design untouched, you know. Because you always got those games back in the day where it would be like, you beat the last level and you unlock the boss. You know, you can play as the boss through the campaign, and then you're dead excited for it, and then you actually get to it, and it's some shit fucking reskin of a pre-existing character that's made to cosplay it, you know, rather than it being the actual character you just fought. This game doesn't do that. This game gives you the fucking character you just fought. Watch this. Look at the fucking size of that, right? You will never see this in an ASIM ever again, mate. Ever. This level of detail. There's me going and forgetting there's a Laz on the team again. My downs don't mean anything at all. Down him. There he is. Actually need to get some work done on this this generator because we're actually 2 minutes in. Need to be careful of my HP as well. Lazarus is a medic that doesn't heal, but he is day 5 Lazarus. There you go, he's down. I'm going to assist these with this generator. There it goes. It's going to give us a bit more time. They're both kicking the fuck out of him. I've never seen him actually do that. They're both full health as well. If they were actually low on HP, they might have done. Where the fucking hell? Where's everybody else? Oh, wildlife boys. I didn't actually. Thought he was going to get the full kill there, because it does actually swallow them all. We can dick around a little bit here because we are stalling him. There's a bit of isolation there. It's going to be one of Cabot's scent masking, scent tracking abilities, I should say. That's the revive. We are successfully stalling at the moment, which is what you need to do as monster in this. You're actually using your HP as a resource to let your minions get on with that, which they're doing relatively thinking at the moment. We do need to leave now though, because I am losing a bit of HP. Down to half. I shall eat my distant cousin. That did it aid me there, because there's nothing else. Actually, stuff here. Yeah, it's fucking worth it, dude. It really is. I don't give a flying fuck what anybody says. I'd pay 15 quid for this in a modern game. I'm a bit of a whale, but nah. It's about investing in setting industry standards, mate. Because as much as you like, everybody goes on about the edgy talk of, oh, don't buy DLC, you know, vote with your wallet, stick it to the man, you know, all that kind of bollocks about, you know, not giving in to shitty practices and stuff like that. It's about having hindsight of what is a shitty practice. And in hindsight with this game, it was a bit of a mixed barrel, a blurred line. Because the practice was shitty, but the people that made the content for the people who made it the shitty practice actually put their heart and soul into it, you know? Like, they were doing the shitty, scummy DLC shit, but you could tell the people who made this, the actual characters, they were fucking enjoying themselves while making it, you know? Which is what I would support. Because that's where the best games come from. When your dev team actually enjoys what they're making, you know? They had people from fucking Hollywood working on this game, dude. The people that worked on Pacific Rim, the movie, lended their hands to this game, you know? And it fucking shows, boys. It's like Pacific Rim as a spin-off, this game, in a sense. Trying my hardest to get this fucking Laz down at the minute. There we go. They're not doing it because it's in the wrong place. Might have to get rid of these turrets here, I think, because we're lagging behind a little bit. Give my man a little bit of assistance, even though he's going to be deceased soon. Let's get rid of the front two. This. probably scoop them in. My dude! There we go. Scuff my wall there. Can push her down there though. Good. Coming down. Actually forgot Cabot was in this game, that's a bit scary. Don't know where he's been all this time, to be honest. You can push him all the way back there with a boulder. Boulder you can weaponise. As you would expect it to, you know? It's actually quite a decent and strong knock-up ability, to be honest. We are going to get some armour here. Just below halfway on the power source. We've got 5 minutes, 6 minutes left. Ability cooldowns is going to be very useful. Let's get out. Both the minions are dead, aren't they? No. No free revives on my watch, pal. Pulling back in. A slap. 5 minutes. Leader man is out. These two are focusing on killing the minions. Daisy actually blocked the wall there. It's going to give him an exit. That's probably going to be it with them two minions, to be honest. As long as we keep Torvald occupied. Quite have to reach. That's going to be it though. There it is. Notice his back there as well, what you might have seen if you was looking at him. The rock itself is actually flesh, which is what you see on the back of him. It was like, you know, exposed flesh, but it was actually the rock, because it's alien. Get the last cutscene. What I spoke about with armies on them, you know. There it is. We end with some fireworks. Yeah, that's what I said before. You know, with it being literally a fucking army of them, that's what happens. It happens. The end cutscene there is the same, regardless of who wins. The only difference when the hunters does it is the ship actually takes off, but they get left behind. That's the only difference. Like literally just the ship in the background is the only thing that changes about the cutscene, because it's still just basically a suicide mission for them at the end to save everybody that's on the ship. There it is. It's been another evac campaign, bit patchy at the beginning because obviously things happened, but you know, there it is. We did get the Broken Hill twin maps in this one. We have the better cutscenes, but I did get Wraith Trap as well actually, which has a very heavily based on the lore anyway. Well, yeah, there it is. 10-year-old video game, boys. You know, I'm trying not to go into the 10-minute rant at the end because, you know, I do actually need to fucking do things. I'm actually late here. But it is what it is, fellas. This game is just... It's in, like... Of all the games I've seen that have died, and you know, they gain the player bases and all that kind of stuff, and you know, they do the same thing because it's the same thing. Whatever game you're interested in, you want it to be revived and all this kind of stuff. This game, based on what I've seen, and this isn't bias, it's actually just genuine observation. This game is probably in the most easily revivable states that a game has ever been in, to be honest. Because all they fucking need to do with it is to literally just turn the servers back on. That's it. There is no development needed for this game. As long as you revert it back to the legacy version, this version, obviously, and just tweak the numbers slightly. That's all you need to do. A balance patch. Everything that would be considered problematic, or everything back in the day that was considered problematic and all that kind of stuff, it can be... It's not, you know, the size of the issues and the collection of the issues in general is not big enough to outsize a single patch. It isn't. It legit isn't. You know, that's all you need to do. Turn the servers back on. Give it a balanced day. Give it a balanced patch. Start the ball rolling. Hit the ground running. No development costs. No getting a new IP together. Not even any real massive 2 or 3 year brainstorming period for a new idea for a concept of a game. None of that. Just turn the servers on. Carry on. That's all it is. Legit. You know, we could legit turn the servers on tomorrow and basically get the Velvet Worm that was coming. It was probably the next one. It was either the Velvet Worm or they were going for Carly. The Velvet Worm as well, if you didn't know, being an actual literal fucking worm that could tunnel through terrain. So imagine how fucking good that would have looked, you know, with this game's absolute bar of quality, you know. That just completely decimates every fucking ASIM that's ever existed. And, you know, I mean, last year came close because last year was very high quality as well for what it was. Last year was basically the evolved Dead by Daylight, in a sense. It was similar to Dead by Daylight, but with Evolved's level of quality, you know? And also diversity and actual character uniqueness, because there was a giant spider in that one, and there was a deranged hobo, there was a giant Russian convict, there was the typical faithful slasher of the school janitor, that kind of stuff. There were four initial fiends in that game. You know, this game had 5, 7 if you're going to count the 2 mutators, 8 if you want to count Glacial Behemoth, but Glacial Behemoth can't be played in Legacy. We are due a Glacial Behemoth video at some point. I am going to try and, you know, switch back over to that as long as it don't fuck all the animations up. But yeah, it's just it's the most revivable fucking thing that there is, to be honest, as far as I'm concerned. And you know, we've recently just heard as well, we've lost TCM now. So TCM doesn't exist in the ASIM genre because they're discontinuing there. Not that I particularly held TCM to any high regard, because the developers, the PR situation and the developers of that game basically showed the world they were just a bunch of cunts, because they just started fighting everybody and anybody on social media whenever the people that were actually right in saying your game's actually dog shit, they started coming and defending it, and, you know, just posting another fucking menu-based DLC pile, rather than actually, you know, responding to the community in a passive and neutral light and saying you're going to respond to the issues and all that kind of shit. No, just take the piss out of them like a fucking Twitter-dwelling fanboy. But it is what it is at the end of the day. All it boils down to, fellas, is this game shouldn't be dead. Should not be dead. The issue of why this game is dead was because basically for what it was released too early. That's all it is. The problem we face now with this game is we have a very, and I'm going to say this in a very neutral way, and I'm not saying it to hate. I'm not. The words are going to be hateful, but I'm not saying it to hate. I'm saying it based on common sense and what I've observed as a consumer, right? Based on what's been done with this game, right? We have, at the moment, the main problem this game has is we have a fucking clueless publisher that doesn't understand how to fucking revive a game, right? Because they've tried this shit 3 times and it's failed every time for very, very obvious reasons. So the stage 2 whole situation back in the day was when they tried to oversimplify the game for all the fucking, the normal gamers that, want everything to be bright and sparkly and they need massive beams over wildlife buffs. The very things you're supposed to go around the map searching for. We'll highlight all those. We'll turn it into an intergalactic space game show with announcers all over it, announcing every little fucking thing that happens in the game, just to completely decimate the atmosphere and remove any sort of feeling of immersion that you had within the game, what you've just seen here, where it's not a game show, basically, and it's an actual, basically a sci-fi horror game. That's how I've always considered this, because it is end times, that kind of stuff, and it's giant monsters. So the stage 2 obviously didn't land on its feet because, again, this dips its toes into what I always say about Dead by Daylight as well, because it suffered from the sheer fucking perk cesspool issues that every game will fall into if it goes about doing it in this kind of way, wherein you basically reboot a game and you shower it in 60 million fucking perks for the sake of build diversity, but in doing so you actually just nuke your game's balance from then on and for the entire future of your game's lifespan, because for every new perk you want to introduce to the game, or every new monster, every new hunter, every new survivor, every new killer, all that kind of stuff, it's going to create imbalances and synergies, and you're just making more work for yourself rather than it being like this game, what you've just seen at the beginning, where there are 9 perks and you only get to take one of them into the game with you, every round. That's how you balance an ASIM, right? And how ASIMs should be, which is why Dead by Daylight is one of the most fucking unbalanced messes that is now obviously in the market, because it's the only thing that's in the market, but that's why it's so imbalanced. It's the perks. Every time 2v8 comes along, which 2v8 is going to be coming along soon, you see the game's much more fun, because there's an absence of perks, which is also why, in a sense, Chaos Shuffle is, because it randomizes the perks, because there's only 4 useful fucking perks in Dead by Daylight anyway. All the top meta shit. So when you actually randomize it and you get randomized into all the stuff that isn't useful and they don't have an impact on the game, you get the base game and the base experience, and it's just fucking better, But again, coming back over here, that's why the Stage 2 revival died, because it turned into an imbalanced pile of shit, basically, because it had no atmosphere, it had no immersion, it had radical imbalances. They were super busted fucking characters. Behemoth was nearly unkillable by virtue of the new perk system. Slim was fucking virtually unkillable because you've basically just seen it as day 4 as goalie there. Put that in a game with perks that amplify his healing output, amplify the speed at which he can heal, the reload times, the amount how much he can be tanky, the amount of damage he can do, all this kind of stuff, which synergizes with how much he vampire is. What's it called? is how much he vamps off you. The life drain kind of thing. It ties into his healing, how much he does, all that kind of stuff. And then you've got a character that's literally unkillable, and they fucking abuse that shit. The second part, obviously, again, this dips me toes, make myself the enemy of all the rest of the Evolve gamers. We didn't exactly help ourselves, and this was something that I actually mentioned in the Discord server at the time of the revival, when there was a handful of us. I was getting 2.5 million fucking views on my videos at the time. We were literally taking off, boys. I felt like I was actually contributing to the community by getting the game out there for everybody, And I said during that hype wave in the Discord server that we should not be stomping new players that come into this game with all these busted, overpowered synergies and all this kind of shit, because they will not fucking return. And at the time, everybody just said, "Oh no, it's fine. You don't know what you're talking about." That was the line that stays with me. You don't know what you're talking about. No. All these new players that are coming into the game, they're going to completely enjoy being fucking spawn camped out of the dropship by the most busted fucking monster in the game, and they're going to return for that comp scene, that we're pushing onto the game and just, literally condensing it down into this fucking esports tripe that nobody wants to fucking play, to the point where everybody fucked off again because nobody wanted to play that shit, which is what I said at the time. But no, I didn't know what I was talking about, so here we are. Game's fucking dead, boys. Because I've been right about fucking 6 times now about games that, any game in the ASIM genre, I was right about last year when I said that last year, back in the day, this was something I didn't say on camera, but I said last year would probably die because of its development issues with the whole Discord situation at the beginning, and why you shouldn't release it onto the fucking Discord storefront that lasted 2 minutes. So that killed the game, you know. But at the time, then everybody was saying, "Oh no, it'll live. Everybody will come and play this game that nobody fucking knows anything about because it spent the first year of its life isolated on a fucking storefront that lasted about 2 weeks, you know." And then obviously the Evolve situation. And then there was the Ghoul situation recently as well, where they all started taking the piss out of me, saying I didn't know what I was talking about when I said behaviour would literally remove Ghoul from the game because the modern gamer can't fucking adapt to what the power role is anymore, because we just spoon feed them free wins and iframes and all this kind of bollocks. But that's obviously Dead by Daylight's ball court. But yeah, that's what happened with this game. Because when we got 2,500 fucking players on a game that isn't listed publicly, right? People came back to play this shit. There was a small handful of people in that Discord that thought, right, let's turn this into esports. That's how we get this game revived, you know? Sweat the fuck out of it, drain all the atmosphere, nuke the new player experience. I want to play for my fucking Twitch streams and all this kind of shit, and all the esports bollocks that was going around, you know, where you'd literally have coaching channels and all that kind of stuff. And I said at the time as well, just want to sprinkle this in here because I know there might be some people listening to this, right? I said at the time, coaching, nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it, you know? Like, you can teach people how to play the game. But what I did have a problem with was it wasn't necessarily teaching people how to play the game, how to play your characters, how to land their abilities and all that kind of shit. It was literally the two-dimensional type of coaching that was basically just play this fucking busted character and rake in the wins. That's all it was, you know? They didn't fucking tell you how to play Gorgon. They didn't tell you how to play fucking Wraith. You know, all this kind of shit. They didn't fucking speak words of them. You know? Play Behemoth. Play Slim. You know? Stack reload speed with this character. It charges your abilities faster so you can just fucking nuke everything. Nuke those new players. They'll enjoy that as an experience. Fucking insanity, dude. And then I've got people, the very people who were coaching at the time, going on about, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. So fuck off. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Because I've probably been fucking here twice as long as what them people have. But it is what it is, boys, at the end of the day. And then obviously there was steering away from the community, because it wasn't 100% the community's fault. I'm not saying it's 100% the community's fault. It wasn't. There was a lot of people here who were genuinely wholesome. They were really, you know, they were trying it. There was a couple of, you know, other streamers knocking around that were actually, you know, contributing to the game and all that kind of stuff. And they were trying to cultivate the new player experience like I was. If you go back to my multiplayer playlist, you'll see what I'm talking about. Obviously, there are some games where we were playing it, but I sort of went into games engaged based on how the team of hunters was actually playing, how I would play it. So obviously, if they knew how to play against certain things and they knew how to play against certain monsters, I'd just play the game then, because I could, you know. But if I knew if they were running off everywhere, they were isolating themselves, they weren't completely clued in on what was going on, I wouldn't sweat, you know. I'd hang back, I'd wait around corners to make them think I'm doing something else at the time, you know, and then once they sort of regroup with each other, I'd jump back in and start fighting. Keep them interested, because that is the new player experience, and that is how the game would have had the best chance to get off the floor. But no, there you go. You know, you had people that would just pick Behemoth, pick Slim, frothing at the fucking mouth as soon as they saw new players dropping in, you know. Oh, let's wait at the bottom of that dropship. Oh, I'm going to get a win on this fictitious fucking data sheet that's going to be dead in a couple of months because I'm fucking nuking the game, but I'm too fucking thick as pig shit to understand that I'm actually destroying the new player experience, you know. Oh, it's worth those win rates and those percentages, though, you know. People legit posting images in the fucking Discord of the picture of Behemoth on the stats page with a fucking 100% win rate because all they're facing is the new players and just fucking steamrolling them, you know. Fucking insane. As I said, I'd said I'd steer away from the community topic. The last topic, the third one, as I mentioned, was down to the publisher again. And when we got 2,500 people playing the game, and just it was literally about a month and a half, 2 months I think it was, just the complete lack of fucking response in any way whatsoever to what the fuck was going on. There was just nothing. It was the Steam page had 2,500 people playing this game, right? Publisher, MIA. Yeah. Where are you? About, what was it? No, it might have been about 2 weeks. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. We got a little notice in the main menu that said, "We hear you," and that was a load of shit. Turned out to be a load of shit anyway. It was just corporate speak. They were trying to bevy. They were trying to decide whether is there enough cattle here to make a farm out of. But because in the same vein, whilst we were doing that, we were just watching the game die, but then scratched our heads at the end of it, trying to figure out why the game died and why people started leaving when we did fuck all with it for 2 months after 2,500 people came back to it. And there was a lot of hype surrounding the game for a period of about 1 or 2 months. There was literally, you would queue into the game and find games nearly instantly. There was that many people playing it, and it wasn't even listed on the Steam store. And that is one of the reasons why the third time this game was tried to be revived didn't fucking happen. Because we still, after all this time, can't wrap our heads around understanding that this game isn't fucking publicly available. What was the other option we did? We threw 50,000 keys into a fucking public Discord server so that they would all get inevitably scalped, and then scratched our heads as to why there wasn't 50,000 people suddenly playing the game. Oh, that's a game issue though. That's the game's fault. Game's not worth it. It's not worth reviving. No. Totally the game issue. Couldn't be our incompetence. No, doesn't exist that. It's the game issue. Yeah, we've never done anything wrong. No. Master publishing, we did they work on GTA? I think they do work on GTA, don't they? They publish GTA or something. No, it's Rockstar, that, innit? I think they did something with GTA. It's one of the big fucking 10-cent companies, isn't it? 2K. Yeah, that's how it happened. I said I wasn't going to go into a rant, but it's like 20 minutes on the end again because it just happens. But it's just, the game shouldn't be dead at the end of the day. It should not be fucking dead. Not in the slightest. Because I'm telling you now, if this game actually got revived, you would see a stark fucking improvement to Dead by Daylight overnight. I guarantee that to you. That'll be something else I'd be right about as well. I'll put money on it. I'll put legit money on it, Because then, if this game actually did come out and it started getting content, it got a player base and all that kind of stuff, give it, maybe not overnight, give it about 2 or 3 months, right? Or 4 months, it's getting longer this. Just enough of a time frame so that new content comes into the game and it's at the same bar as what this is that already exists. Behaviour would shit themselves. They would actually shit themselves because they'd have to fucking put effort in. Then the reason Dead by Daylight is so buggy, it's so fucking shite in animations, there's no atmosphere and all that kind of shit, is because there's no competition ever. TCM wasn't competition. That's tied to a license. Just like Killer Clowns was, I really wish people in this genre would fucking dig deep and make a unique concept, because I'm sick of it being this whole ASIMs have to be within licenses, Where's this very obscure horror-based license from the fucking 1980s, that's got a cult following and nothing else? Oh, let's make a game about that. That'll live for years, Rather than it being an actual ASIM. I've said for a long time, the way I do an ASIM, the actual ASIM I would do, I have very, very vivid images in my head about how to do it. I've just got I don't have any game design knowledge, actual coding and all that kind of shit. I based it around something like a zombie apocalypse, where you would take on control of a very dangerous biomutant, where you're one of the standout, like, not necessarily patient zero, but you're like one of the problematic mutations, and you go around cityscapes similar to this and you find camps of survivors, and then you'd kill them survivors, you'd eat them survivors, you'd get bigger, and you could choose how to mutate, how you'd spend your genes or whatever, that kind of stuff, and then obviously you'd have 4 other specially trained soldiers coming after you, mercenaries. Call them mercenaries because it's like the end of the world, that kind of thing. So you could, with it being mercenaries, you could create any kind of character you want, like it is in this game. Fucking Cyborg stood there, Swedish Cyborg, that's what he is. I think he's Swedish anyway, I got that mixed up one time. He's Scandinavian, that sort of region. But yeah, the uniqueness like that, you could have that there, and it's not licensed. So you don't have to fuck around, thinking what character can we pull from the archives, And and then you'd have obviously freedom to do literally anything with the monsters because they're all zombies and mutants. You know, the very idea of a mutant is that it changes, you know, and it can be anything. Yeah, there you go. It is what it is. Big ass fucking chat at the end, but it's an offload again. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay. We're going to keep going, as always, because, you know, the game's not getting any less fun for me anyway. And yeah, I'll hopefully see you for the next one. Bye.